hockey fans. Welcome to another great edition of BoardCheck. This one's Stanley Cup Final edition. I'm your host, Jeremy, the Impact York. Want to welcome you guys in. A couple episodes ago, we had Jake on. We had John on for an episode. They are both under the weather. I think they're doing a lot better now. I'm doing a lot better now as well. I don't know what has been going on here in the state of Georgia, but man, the weather has just wreaked havoc on everybody's sinuses, and I think we all gave each other bits and pieces of whatever viruses we had. But I think we're doing better. We're doing a lot better. Good to be back on to talk Stanley Cup Finals. Depending on when you see this show, they may have started. Game one is going to start tonight. I haven't seen anything on it. I just know who's going to be in it, and I will weigh in on that a little later in the show. As the theme suggests, even though this is the old Gwinnett logo, we are going to talk a little. I'm going to mention some stuff about our good friends, the Predators. I'm going to mention some. I'm going to kind of weigh in there. I'm going to kind of weigh in on the Hurricanes. But first, of course, if you want to follow the show, go to our YouTube page at BoardCheck99. It is the only show that we feature that actually has its own YouTube, and that's because this was the OG show here at Impact Media. In fact, when BoardCheck started, we weren't even Impact Media yet. That changed after we had BoardCheck. But go to that YouTube page at BoardCheck99. Check out all our great hockey content. I think there's a little bit of rugby on there occasionally, mostly hockey nowadays. But that is the home for that. And any of the social media is the Impact99. We'll find this guy, which means you will find this show somewhere in the feed. So I want to start a little bit with some Gladiator stuff. They have had quite a bit of things happen in the last, week or so. And I just want to shout out and talk a little bit about each one. Their game operations manager, their game op director, as I like to refer to her, Madeline, got a chance to go behind the scenes at Mercedes-Benz for Atlanta United game. Got to hang out with friend of the show, Steve Craig, one of my absolute favorite Atlanta media, and just kind of see how the everyday game day stuff applies to Atlanta United. And, of course, she'll bring what she learned back to the Gladiators and make each game day that much more special for all of us. But shout out Madeline for the great opportunity. They have promoted some more of their staff and their superstars. Alex Bennett is now the manager of ticket sales. Congratulations, Alex. Avery Carney is now the manager of community relations and group sales. She was actually the last ticket rep that I had, I believe. It was either Alex or no, it was the next Alex I'm going to talk about. It was either Alex Hobbs or Avery Carney. I'm pretty sure were the last ticket reps that I actually had. And then Alex Hobbs, as I just mentioned, is now the manager of service and retention. Congratulations to Alex, Avery, and Alex, the AAA threat that they are. They really do some fantastic stuff. Those are three that I have actually had conversations with in just the freelance media stuff that I do. I want to reiterate that you guys, just like with some of the other shows, you guys think that I am a part of things like Deep South Wrestling or WWE or UFC. I am not. It is freelance. I have no official contract even with the Gladiators. Might have some of their cool swag. I might have some other people on or talk in depth about things. That is because that information has been told to me that I can do so. I only release things to the public. For what it's worth, I knew some things before they happened, but out of respect to those people, I only release them once they tell me that I can. That's what a good media should do. But congratulations to those three on their promotions. They have a really cool 7-game pack, right? These packages, they start about $133. And no, they don't pay me to say this. But they have a 7-game pack that is all theme nights. And theme nights are some of the best times to go. I would argue the Gladiators, I've said for years, Atlanta United is the best ticket in town. The Atlanta Gladiators is number 2. Overall experience while you're there, whether it's a theme night, whether it's just a random Tuesday, uh, going to a Gladiators game, second best ticket in town, and they're working on making that number 1. And the way United's playing right now, there's a chance they might could catch up a little. But these ticket packages start at $133 a piece. You get 7 games. Do the math there. It works out very, very well. What you're talking, 16, right at $16 a game. Did I do the math right on that? Let's see. Something close to that. It's something close to that. Like $16 a game, and these aren't awful seats. For one, that arena doesn't have any bad seats, the gassed out district. But they've already said some of the nights that are included on this. October 18th, of course, is opening night. That is game number 1 on the schedule. It's also November 22nd, which is the Glad Fight Cancer. They're going to do some really fun things with that. I kind of want to see some of the special events going on with that one. Max's holiday party is December the 6th. That is game number 3 on this package. Game number 4 is Star Wars night. That is on January, almost can't read my own writing, 3rd, January 3rd. And then there are 3 other dates on the package that the themes have not been announced yet, but we can figure out a couple of them. February 14th, sort of Valentine's related theme there, I would imagine. March 28th. What is your other big one that they haven't done? Let's see, there's Star Wars. Star Wars is always in January. Kind of interesting. March 28th. What could that? Maybe that. Oh, I bet March 28th is Thrasher Night. That would be my guess. These are all guesses. If I hit these, then you should listen to my picks more often. And then April 10th. Okay, they're gonna tell us June 6th about the February one. June the 6th as well will be the March 28th one. So that means in 2 days. That means Friday. They're going to tell us for the February 14th and March 28th. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. February 14th, I will say, is some sort of Valentine's date night. March 28th is Thrasher night. And April 10th is fan appreciation night. I bet I'm right on at least 2 of those. At least 2 of those. And either that or Jared Youngman is going to send me a message earlier to quit predicting good things. Just kidding, Jared. What else was there? There was something else. Where was it? Where was it? There it is. They announced it today. I knew it a good while back. This is another thing that I could not tell you guys, and I really, really, really wanted to. The announcement today that Guy, I think Fiorenza, it's how you say his name, Fiorenza, is now the Director of Broadcasting and Communications, a.k.a. he's the new voice of the Gladiators. He comes to us from the Wranglers out in Texas, where he just finished up an amazing year for them. He comes highly touted. I have not had an actual conversation with him yet, but from everything I hear, I think you guys are going to really like him. I look forward to hopefully working with him this year. Once again, I don't know in what actual capacity, because once again, I don't work for the team, guys. I don't. At least not right now. Not as of June the 4th. Just saying. But congratulations, Guy. Maybe we will do the normal thing we have done. We had Liam on the last couple of years. Maybe we will have Guy on very, very soon. I think the official presser and everything for that is going to be in July, and we'll see what happens going forward with all of that. But tons of stuff going on with the Gladiators. Just go to AtlantaGladiators.com or any of their social medias, and you can find all of that amazing information and a lot more details about them. And see. The Predators had some stuff I want to tell you guys about as well. Oh no, that's what it was. Just want to weigh in on the Predators, kind of overall. So I'm with you guys. I thought this would be a slightly more uptick and a slightly more promising year for the Predators. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a disappointing year. I think some things didn't quite line up that they wanted to, but that's a given. I felt like the young talent didn't take that full step forward like they did in the short part of the season the year before. Um, I think Stamkos is a welcome addition. Just trying to find the right combo of where he can fit. And I mean, he fits a lot of places, but to just get that camaraderie, you know, you're going to be a lot more familiar with somebody you've been around a lot. Towards the end of the season, we were starting to see that. People were starting to find him in stride, and he was finding other people. Uh, so the longer that you see him as a Nashville Predator, the better it's going to get. Um, UC Saros got to be a top three goalie in this league. Just stands on its head every night. The defense did pick it up a little towards the end and make it a little easier on him. But look, we all know there were times that Saros really carried this team when needed, and until the offense kind of kicked it in and brought it back around to make this a complete team. Where are they going forward? Well, without knowing the potential free agent that they may be targeting or the potential ones that may be exiting, I would say they're in a good place. They're in a good place right now as long as there's not a mass turnover. And I don't think there will be. Everybody's a year older. That makes them a little bit more of a veteran player. I think we're going to see pretty similar lineup next year that we saw this year. And I think they may keep the young goaltender behind Saros. They may go for a veteran backup instead. I'm not sold on what they're actually going to do because when I talk about Carolina, I'm going to have a similar take. But like I said, I like where the Predators are. I think they're in a good spot to surprise some people next year if they can just button up the last few things. I think I'm not going to say a borderline playoff team because that would suggest that they are right under the line, hoping to get over it. I think they are just over the line, and you want to more than hang on to that last spot. I think they might be one of those last teams in the playoff type deal. At least where I see them right now, they could drastically improve and be higher than that. But I think they're one of those. They're going to nab one of those wild card spots. I think that's where you can kind of pencil them in. But I definitely liked a lot of what I saw, and of course there were things we didn't like. But in the end, the Predators are in a good spot. They are definitely in a good spot. Let's get to the Kings. We know Rod Brindamore has gotten into the playoffs every year. They've been in the conference finals a couple times now in all the years he's been there. They have one win. They're what, 19-1? That doesn't make. Let's see. They've been beat like three times. Maybe they're 12-1 or something. Or they're 1-12. They have one win in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at least they got that win. They were able to beat Florida once. I don't know if Florida is just that team that is the Achilles heel, the perfect matchup to really shove them around and get them off their game, or I feel like a lot of people, not Canes fans and not smart media people, but a lot of people, and it's fine to have your own opinion, and maybe you want to disagree with me even. A lot of people would say that they don't have the megastar power to persevere through tough times. And what they mean by that, they're not saying that you don't have stars, because I could argue that Frederick Anderson, Sebastian Aho, Marty Nachos is now on a national level. Those the perennial all-star favorites Those are stars. Now, what people are referring to by megastar are not just the Ovechkins and the Connor McDavids, but it is those. It's the Leon Draisaitls. It's the Zach Hyman, even though he's out now. It's the Kachuk brothers. It's um, Mark Stone. It's the not just pencil them in for an all-star appearance. They are no brainers every year. And I'm not saying Sebastian Aho's not, because any year he should be one. Frederick Anderson, as long as he's healthy, is a top 10 goaltender in the league. I'm just explaining their take. I would argue that you don't need those megastars per se, especially when your entire team is as solid and straight up and down as Carolina is. There's the only team that is close to them in depth wise, in my opinion, are the Edmonton Oilers. And I know what you're going to say there. Well, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman, Leon Draisaitl, you just said it. Sure. At least two of those are potential megastars. Hyman could be with another year. So I get what you're saying, but I don't think that is why Carolina can't get to the Stanley Cup Finals and why they can't get over that hump of winning a cup. I can't really pinpoint it. Maybe over the summer we get some Carolina people in here and we can discuss it with them. I just think they should keep doing what they're doing. They keep getting closer and closer and closer, and I know they're going to lose some veterans here and there. From this, they're probably going to lose another player or another guy that everybody, the fan base, really likes. But if you're Rod Brindamore and you're Carolina, I think you just keep improving and keep doing what you're doing. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I just don't think it hasn't lined up quite yet. It just hasn't lined up quite yet. It happens. But speaking of things that happen, let's get into the Stanley Cup Finals, which start tonight at 8 o'clock on TNT, True TV, and Max. I think game 1 and 2 are going to be at Edmonton, 3 and 4 in Florida, 5 in Edmonton, 6 in Florida, 7 in Edmonton. Of course, those if necessary. Out of the gate, you've got the depth, and if you want to use that term again, the megastar power of Edmonton against the tough, gritty, really shove you around Florida Panthers. They added the right kind of player in Brad Marchand, who can really get in there and cause penalties and cause chaos, and he can also score a hat trick on top of it. You have Kachuk. You guys know the stars involved here. Florida's game is to play tough, gritty, and to shove you around before and after the whistle and try to entice you to play their game and stop playing your game. Part of how they beat Carolina. They get them so out of character that they just can't put it together in time. But the Oilers have faced a few teams already this year like that, and they just keep motoring right through. They like the buzzsaw that they are. This is tough. This is tough to pick. This is my official pick. What would I like to happen? I would like Edmonton to win. So McDavid, and you want your top in any given sport. It's really nice if your top stars can win your top prizes. But ask baseball and Mike Trout how that goes. That's not always the case. I would like Edmonton to win this in probably 6 games would be nice. I think that'd be a great series. What will more than likely happen? My official pick, I'm going to say the Florida Panthers are going to win back-to-back cups. This one is going to be in 6 games, so they are going to win, 3, 4, 5. They're going to win game 6 at home. I think they are. I think every game is going to be 2-1, 3-2, 4-3. I feel that they're good. Each game is going to be at least 5 goals total scored. And that's not to discount the goaltenders. These teams are just that good. And both of these teams, you got to think, they both gentlemen swept the previous teams. The Panthers knocked Carolina out 4-1, and Edmonton knocked Dallas out 4-1. And Dallas was really motoring when they hit that series, and it's just like they just hit a wall. And Carolina the same way. You got to think, Carolina went 4-1, and then 4-1, and then lost 1-4. It's just crazy how that particular thing goes. But I very much think that's going to happen. I think your MVP, your Stanley Cup MVP, man, Kachuk is the easy choice. Give me, let's see, give me Sergei Bobrovsky, the goalie from Florida. I think is going to be your MVP. So that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. I think Florida wins in 6. I would like Edmonton to win. Honestly, any of the teams I cheer for, pull for, are not in it anymore. So I just want to see a great series. But give me Florida in 6. I feel that they are just going to be a little too much for Edmonton for the second straight year. And I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to watch them. It's going to be a fantastic series. Hopefully, I enlightened you guys for the last handful of minutes. I'm going to do the same thing as I have been doing next time that I'm on, outside of some kind of crazy breaking news or crazy awesome opportunity to have somebody on here. Next BoardCheck show will be after the Stanley Cup Finals. We will recap the finals. We will talk about any housekeeping, any other things going on. If the Predators or the Gladiators or the Canes have any breaking news or anything going on at that point, we will talk about it then. But until next time, I'm Jeremy the Impact York from Impact Media. Thanks for tuning in to another great edition of BoardCheck. We will see you guys after the finals. Deuces, gooses. Go Glads. Go Preds. Go Canes. Go watch hockey.